Right, so good morning everyone. So the lecture is all about amendments. See, there are very few amendments but very interesting and important amendments which can be very much tested in the main exam, and easy and like little bit useful and important amendments. So it will not take much of your time. So quickly I'll just take you through these amendments and their impact, etc. Right. So let us start discussing the amendments which are applicable for your May 2024 exams. Right. So now, first of all, see, chapter wise I have segregated this. Hardly it is an 18-page material, and that 18 pages is also like what? By adding some background, etc., etc. I mean the reason for amendment, all these things. Otherwise, in simple words, we would have finished every amendment in very short span. So at least it would have been a 6 to 7 pages material. So don't even worry about the size of the amendment PDF. So you got 18 pages PDF, but still you can very much fit that in 6-7 pages. Okay, so such small amendments but important. So let me just go with chapter wise. So first of all, chapter supply, and obviously you know basic concepts, there won't be any amendments in that. So chapter 2 supply. So chapter 2 supply. Now if you see chapter 2 supply, right, do you remember schedule 1, schedule 2, schedule 3? Schedule 1 is what? Activities to be did as supply even without consideration. Schedule 2, either SOG or SOS. Schedule 3, neither SOG nor SOS. If you remember in the class we would have discussed, sir, in schedule 3, actionable claims other than lottery betting gambling, Do you remember that now? Actionable claims other than lottery betting gambling, you remember in schedule 3 you would have seen. Simple, now they have brought in something different here. So instead of saying actionable claims other than lottery betting gambling, they have changed this and they have amended it in such a way. Sir, earlier it is actionable claims other than betting, gambling and lottery. Now they have just replaced it with the word actionable claims other than specified actionable claims. So what is that they are trying to do here now? Earlier they have just excluded all the actionable claims except lottery betting gambling. That means lottery betting gambling or what? Still goods, and still it will be treated as supply if you are doing that. Now they want to add some more points to that. So they have added casinos, horse racing, online money gaming. Earlier only 3 things were taken out of schedule 3. You tell me, if something is given in schedule 3, what do you mean by that? It is not at all a supply. But something is taken out of schedule 3 means it is supply. So here earlier how many things they have removed? 3 things: lottery betting and gambling. Now what they are doing? They are removing 3 more things. What are those? Horse racing, casinos and online money gaming. Simple, I will tell you how to remember that. See, there can be a chance of this being tested in the exam regarding whether it is supply or not in any adjustment of the problem, etc., etc. Now you understand all these things are what? Supply of goods. Are you understanding that point? All these things are what? Supply of goods. Then you tell me lottery betting gambling. Where you can play these things? You can go to casinos and play there. And sir, I can also do that through online now. So you can remember online money gaming. One different fellow is coming here. That fellow is called horse racing. Are you understanding? 6 points are there. These 6 things are what? Supply of goods. They are not removed from schedule 3. So these 6 are supply of goods. What are the 6 things? Lottery, betting, gambling. You remember like this: lottery, betting, gambling. These 3 where you will play casinos, and also online. So online money gaming. 5 things. And one exceptional thing like different fellow, horse racing. These 6 things if you are doing, it is called supply. Sir, for the purpose of this, what they did, they have defined this online money gaming. Not at all relevant for your exam or anything else. Just remember online money gaming. You tell me what is online money gaming, Ra? Online money gaming means in online you are playing the games by betting some money. Here they are saying that not only money, but also virtual digital assets. That means cryptocurrencies. Okay, that means you are not only putting the normal currency but also the cryptocurrency, etc. Then also I call it as what? Online money gaming. So for this purpose, they have again defined what? What is online gaming? You don't know what is online gaming. Sir, online gaming is what I do, what I play using internet or any electronic network, includes online money gaming. So all these things are nonsense things. Just they have again defined what is a virtual digital asset. All these things are simple because it is an amendment material. I just want to show that yes, these are there in statutory update, we are covering that. But trust me, here you can just ignore this definition for your exam, and you can ignore this definition for your exam, and you can ignore this definition also for your exam. Just read it once, that's all. Not even remembering it is relevant, not at all relevant. You need not remember these definitions. Only thing you have to remember, sir, these 6 points, what and all are removed from schedule 3. So now, as I said, lottery, betting, gambling, casinos, online money gaming and horse racing are covered under supply. So they are supply of goods. Okay. Now sir, what do you mean by online money gaming? Online money gaming is nothing but online gaming in which you bet money or even virtual digital assets. What do you mean by virtual digital assets? They are nothing but our cryptocurrency. So that they give some technical wordings here, not relevant for us. Let us not worry about that. Shall we proceed? Right. So that is what all about that first thing. And regarding that, they have also made an amendment in the definition of supplier. They have added a proviso in the supplier definition, so that they are providing that any person who organizes, arranges, directly, indirectly supply of specified actionable claims, all these things as supplier. So simple, in this proviso what they are trying to tell, they are trying to add something to the supplier concept. Whom they are trying to add? Whoever is providing this online money gaming or horse racing, casinos, all that stuff, they are also treated as what? Supplier from now. And again, this amendment is not relevant for your exam at all. Clear? Nothing to worry. So now I have given amendment numbers my here. Amendment 1, amendment 2, amendment 3, like this. So I have continued it. In amendment 1, what is relevant? Only 6 points. Lottery, betting, gambling, casinos, online money gaming, horse racing. These things are now supply of goods. That is the only relevant area which you have to remember. So this is the only thing which you have to remember in this particular thing. Am I clear? Nothing else is relevant. Shall we proceed? Now, let us go on to amendment 2. And amendment 2, have you seen RTP, sir, by any chance? Anybody has seen RTPs? If you see in the RTP, one last question will be there. The last question will be, no, I thought like in RTP whether they have tested good amendments or what, like that. I just checked it. So in the RTP, if you see, there is one last question, 10B. Examine the implications of GST on supply of food and beverages at cinema halls. Okay. So now the point is simple. Hey, you are going to book a movie ticket. Now how we are doing booking the tickets? Book my show online, something we are doing correct. Sir, when you book the ticket and go for proceed for payment, those unprofessionals are not proceeding for the payment. They are also popping up with some water, popcorn or coke, images, etc., etc. You are adding that item or that means you will be booking the ticket. Along with that, you might be buying some food and beverages also. Now, sir, when I am selling food and beverages along with this movie ticket, what should be the tax treatment? That was the issue. Correct? Do you remember that composite supply, mixed supply concept? Sir, this is nothing but composite or incidental. Right? Naturally bundled in the ordinary course of business. So, that way what we can treat as composite supply, which is the principal supply here. What is the predominant supply here? Movie tickets. So, the sale of food and beverages is also treated as sale of this movie ticket. So, that means it is a service, taxed accordingly. Are you understanding the point? Let us assume you purchased a ticket. Sir, you purchased a ticket which is costing 400 rupees plus some coke, etc., etc., 100 rupees. Total how much, ma? This 500 will be treated as what? Totally taxable as movie ticket. Okay. So later on I will just share you this PDF. So you can just copy this flowcharts here and there, so that it will be important for you. So sale of food and beverages. Sir, what is the tax treatment, sir? The tax treatment depends upon how are you billing it. Sir, how are you billing it? Sir, when I am selling the ticket only, along with that I am selling food and beverages also, sir. Along with the movie ticket I am billing the food and beverages. That means, can I take it as composite supply? Yes. So the whole transaction will be treated as what? Supply of movie ticket. Supply of movie ticket. Sir, what if I am billing separately, sir? My audience who are coming for the movie, all that stuff, sir, they are very active fellows, purchasing tickets separately, coming to the theater. During the break, they are getting up from their seats and going and buying the snacks. Then it is treated as if I am providing restaurant service to them. So the law says treat it like restaurant services. Are you understanding the point, ma? So simple. What is the point? What is the triggering point we have to see here? Sir, the point is, how are you billing them? The movie ticket and food and beverages. Sir, they are billed together, sir. That means, sir, that is a composite supply. What is the principal supply, ma? Sale of movie tickets. So it is service, so treat it accordingly. But no, sir. I am billing them separately. There is a separate ticket, like separate invoice for movie ticket and separate invoice for food and beverages. Then it will be treated as restaurant services. Which will be beneficial, ra? You tell me. Separately. Why? Because food and beverages restaurant services 5% GST rate. Movie ticket 18%. Correct? So going with separate invoices itself will be more beneficial. Shall I continue? So this is amendment number 2. Amendment number 2. I repeat, what is the concept, guys, here? Sir, when you are selling food and beverages in the theaters, sir, in the theaters, what is the tax treatment they have to follow? That depends upon how they are billing it. Sir, if they are billing the ticket plus food and beverages together, then we will treat it as sale of movie ticket. No, sir, they are billing them separately. Then the food and beverages will be treated as restaurant services. Am I clear? Am I clear? Online students, comfortable, or everyone? So that is what the concept. Next, what is next one, ma? What is amendment 3? Guys, amendment 2 is clear. Amendment 3 is again one clarification here. So it is nothing but, see, you remember this HSN codes, SAC codes we have discussed. Correct, classification, you classify the goods and services based on HSN and SAC. Now there is one SAC code by name 997171. What is given in that SAC? You read what is given in the classification. The classification they have given that the services provided by holding companies, that is holding of securities or other equity interest in companies and enterprises for the purpose of owning a controlling. Like this they made an entry in classification. After reading this, people got a doubt. Sir, that means companies holding some shares, like holding company holding equity shares in subsidiary company, they are owning it for what? Controlling the other company, appa. Now they got a doubt. That means is it a supply, sir? What is a supply? Holding the shares in subsidiary company to have a control over the subsidiary company, is it supply or not? You tell me. What are you doing there, sir? You are not doing anything. Are you supplying any goods? Are you providing any services? But sir, there is a classification. No, sir, 997171. That classification we made, we don't know for what purpose we made it. Okay, they are like giving, the department is giving a clarification that even though there is a classification, the holding company is not providing anything to subsidiary company by just holding the equity. If they are providing any goods or if they are providing any services, yes, obviously it is a supply. But just holding the shares is not a supply. Just holding the shares is not a supply. Am I clear with that, ma? Just holding the shares is not a supply. Shall we continue? Shall we continue? That is another amendment, amendment 3. So simple, what is that they are trying to tell? Sir, activity of holding shares of a subsidiary company by the holding company itself per se cannot be treated as supply of service. Just because there is some classification, don't get like misunderstand, don't misunderstand with the classification. They are not doing anything for each other. If they are doing anything for each other, holding company giving something to subsidiary, subsidiary giving something to holding, then it is a supply. But mere holding of shares is not a supply. Shall we proceed? Right. So with that we are done with chapter number 2, supply. Shall we proceed? So chapter number 2, 3 amendments we have seen. One is what? Regarding schedule 3 pa. Number 2, restaurant services. Number 3, holding company holding shares in subsidiary company. Can you call it as supply? No, you cannot call it as supply. So once you are done with this lecture and you take that PDF printout, you can itself make down like one note of like one single page amendments, short notes, so that tomorrow it will be easy for you to revise for the exam. Please don't neglect amendments for your exam. Okay, right. Next, let us move on to the next one, charge. Sir, in this amendment number 4, this is regarding RCM on director services. Do you remember? RCM on director services. Sir, RCM on director services. Sir, if you remember, director we have discussed the flow chart. Director services. Do you remember, Ara? No, I will show it for you, don't worry. Now listen, listen. If you remember this, director services. Sir, director services, listen. You know that to become a director of a company, you need not be an employee. Okay, you may be employee or you may not be an employee. Sir, if you are an employee, we have discussed this TDS section 192 under income tax. If you are not an employee, professional fees 194J. Sir, if you are an employee, obviously it is neither SOG nor SOS, neither supply of goods nor supply of service because of schedule 3. Correct? There we are happy, no problem. But sir, if he is not an employee, then we will see, sir, whether that fellow is a director of a body established by central government or state government or local authority. Then also it is neither SOG nor SOS, neither supply of goods nor supply of service as per schedule 3. But sir, no sir, he is not an employee and he is not a director of a body established by central government or state government, all that. Then it is supply. Who is liable to pay GST there? Company is liable to pay GST. Now, one more interesting thing there we have discussed. If you remember, we have discussed about director sitting fees. Director sitting fees is not paid as a salary, part and parcel of salary because you are employee of the company. It is paid because you are a director, providing your services as a director, attending the board meetings. So there this employer-employee concept, nothing will come into picture. So it is taxable under RCM. Now here the point is all about, see, the amendment is regarding what? Sir, the amendment is regarding supplier is having a, director is having a flat. He is giving that flat on rent to the company to operate it as some office or etc. Sir, is it supply? It is supply. First of all, you are renting an immobile property for some commercial purpose, whatever it is. Now the problem is, the doubt is whether RCM will come into picture. Director providing some services, no sir, to the company. Whether RCM will come into picture. Are you understanding the point? Sir, director is renting an immobile property to the company. That means he is supplying some services to the company. So who is liable to pay GST now? Whether it is company or whether it is director. Online students, respond. Now the point is, look at the screen, read that amendment number 4. Then tell me the answer. Who is liable to pay GST here? Read the amendment here, amendment number 4. So who is liable, ma? Sir, RCM will come on the services which I am providing in the capacity of director, not whatever I do to the company in my personal capacity. Now renting my house to the company or renting my commercial building to the company, that I am doing in my personal capacity, whether I am a director or not, it doesn't matter with that. So the law, they have clarified that, sir, any services provided by a director in his private or personal capacity are not taxable under RCM, are not taxable under RC. They are saying are not taxable under RCM. They are not saying not taxable under GST. So that means here, what is that? Here it is taxable under FCM. GST, but we can say FCM. Correct, Abba? Simple. That means what is the conclusion here? Sir, director providing services in the capacity of director, RCM. Sir, he is providing anything in his personal capacity, FCM. So, can we just say here director services? Director providing services as director, then it is RCM. Providing in his personal capacity, it is FCM. Correct? Maybe some RCM FCM question can be tested on this. Very nice amendment. So please be careful. Everybody, they can give a straight same scenario also, like the director is renting some immobile property to a company for some office purpose or whatever it is. So who is liable to pay GST? Sir, in that case, obviously director himself is liable to pay GST. RCM will not come into picture there. Shall I continue? So that is what next amendment. Hope everybody clear. Online students also. So let us move on. The next one. What is next one? The next amendment, see, just for the namesake that is given in the statutory update I am discussing. Apart from that, in this, if you understand, like we are discussing amendments under RCM. First thing, there is a clarification, not an amendment, just a clarification. We have seen that. Now another thing, there is an amendment in the list of RCM, not a major amendment at all. You remember this government services, ra? Do you remember? Let me take you to exemptions, because while discussing RCM government services, do you remember we have discussed first exemptions of government providing services to business entity and other than business entity. Do you remember that? And you remember this postal department services in relation to aircraft or vessel. Okay, so next we have seen transportation of passengers and goods. So that way we have seen government services, entry number 6, if you remember. Correct? You might have taken the notes also in the classroom. Example number, what is the example number in your notes? Anything like we have written? Government services. Anything in your GST notes? Say how to find Ratnarao? No. This lecture will not be uploaded in YouTube. And how to find out whether, but we will share you the link, the recording video Google Drive link, will share it to you, so you can relax, no issues. How to find out? See, he is doing something services as a director of a company. See, renting his house to company is not there. He is behaving as a director. He is behaving as a owner of the house. Okay. So owner of the house. So obviously he is not a director of the company in that case. Example number 27. Okay. So something like that we would have taken up. So here simple small addition what they did is, sir, if you remember, there is a point called services by Department of Post, correct? The government services are fully exempt. First of all, if you remember, let me show you that flowchart also. 1 second. Do you remember this flowchart? These notes we have written. So services by government is generally what? Exempt. But other than 6ABC like that we have discussed in the class. Do you remember at least discussing that way? So the point is, sir, postal department services in relation to aircraft or a vessel or transportation of goods and passengers, these are taxable, I told. Correct, Abba? Do you remember? So in that they are adding a small point. Postal department services is there. No, next to that they are adding a point that Indian Railways, Ministry of Indian Railways. That means, but this is very important. Listen carefully. Here they are adding the word Ministry of Railways or Indian Railways, all this. That means Indian Railway services are what? Taxable. Indian Railway services are taxable. Listen carefully. Indian Railway services are taxable. But sir, we have a separate exemption dealing with the transportation of goods and passengers. Do you remember? Where we discussed about transporting the passengers in rail other than first class and AC is exempt. That means first class and AC is taxable. Sir, sleeper class, economy class, all these things will be. Sir, there is an amendment here. You have added Indian Railways. In this entry they have made it taxable, but there is one more entry giving me exemption. Are you understanding the point? There is one more entry giving me exemption, so we can still enjoy that exemption. You remember postal department services are taxable, correct? But we read one more entry saying that, what is that? Postcard, inland letters weighing less than 10 grams, exempt. Do you remember that? There we are enjoying that exemption even though it is provided by postal department, correct, Abba? So the same way here they are adding the word, Indian Railways. Okay, they are just adding this word Indian Railways next to the word Department of Post. Okay, this amendment comes both in RCM also, exemptions also. Now this is what can I say? All these things are taxable. Can I say all these things are taxable under RCM or FCM? You tell me, ma. Taxable under FCM. If you remember, these are entry 6A, 6B, 6C. 6A, 6B, 6C. 6A, B, C are always taxable under FCM, like that you would have written a note in the classroom when we are discussing. Correct? In that 6A there is one more addition, that is nothing but Indian Railways. Am I clear? Now my doubt is, you tell me, sir, I am traveling from Chennai to Bengaluru in a general compartment. Taxable or exempt? Exempt. Sir, just now you told Ministry of Railways or Indian Railways tax. Sir, I have a separate point which is giving me exemption. What is that? Sir, transportation of passengers, we have seen that. Only first class and AC is taxable. Sir, monorail, metro, tramway, all these things are exempt. Do you remember? That will still continue. I repeat, even online students, please be careful, please be careful. Don't misunderstand. Here there is an addition of Ministry of Railways, Indian Railways in this concept, but the point is, I am enjoying relaxation under a different entry. The different entry says, sir, transportation of passengers through railways other than first class and AC is exempt. That means first class and AC only taxable. Am I clear? So still it is taxable. So everywhere here in this entry number 6, entry number 7, wherever this word Department of Post is there, next to that what they did, they have added this. So this in detail we have already discussed while discussing in the classroom. So simple, I will just show you this flowchart. This flowchart you might have written in your class notes. Near this example 27, somewhere 27, 28 examples, you might have written this example, government services comprehensive discussion on both exemptions and RCM. Correct? Online students, have you got your classroom notes, Ra? So please look into that. In that, one small correction, that's all, ma. Here postal department exception, postal department services you wrote. Next to that, just add Indian Railways, that's all. Next to that, just add this fellow Indian Railways. So hope you remember this flowchart. You remember that small bit, small services, relaxation 5,000, small business entity who is not even liable for registration. Go through your classroom notes, please. Okay. So nothing major amendment, I repeat, nothing major amendment. The only thing is they have just added the word Indian Railways to this entry. Clear? So this amendment happened in exemptions also. So parallel amendment happened in RCM also. Am I clear? Shall I continue, ma? Everybody understood this? There's somebody, first keep your Zoom meeting names with your own names, sir, not something different. And whoever is asking this doubt, except general class and sleeper class related to railways is taxable. It is not like that. It is except first class and AC. Remaining things is exempt. So first class and AC only taxable. Remember like that. First class and AC only taxable. Anything else you see it is. But do you remember transportation of goods? We have discussed some specific goods. Agri produce, milk, flour, salt, organic manure, books and magazines. Transportation by water. GTA or rail. Exempt. That's still applicable, so that exemption still you will enjoy, but you are enjoying in a different entry. I repeat, because of this Indian Railways addition here, don't get confused in the main exam. If they ask you anything regarding transportation of passengers or transportation of goods by Indian Railways, the old exemptions, wherever you are enjoying the exemption, that will still be good enough. Shall we continue, pa? Right. Next, what is next one, pa? That means, see, this exemption, see, this is just making difference with any other services. Indian Railways, sir, they might be renting out the canteens, they might be renting out some spaces there in the railway stations, or they might be providing any other service. There it makes a difference. But in transportation of passengers and goods, we already have a different exemptions. There is no difference it is going to create. Shall we proceed, ma? Everybody? Online students? So with that, we are done with another amendment regarding exemptions and RCM both. So that is what amendment number 5. So we are done with this. Parallelly, we are also done with amendment 5A, also the same thing, right? Amendment 5A, do you remember my renting of immovable property? So now renting of immovable property done by this central government. Now listen, ma, this is something interesting here. See, now You remember renting of immovable property services provided by government coming under RCM? When? If the recipient is registered person. Do you remember that we have discussed, sir, Greater Chennai Corporation is giving a shop on rent to a small saloon shop, or it is giving a shop on rent to a company. So registered or unregistered, you have to see correct recipient. So if the government is providing services to a registered person in the name of renting of immovable property, who is liable to pay GST? Ra? Registered person, the recipient has to pay. But in that list, services supplied by central government excluding Ministry of Railways. That means here they are trying to remove Indian Railways from RCM. Yes or no? They are trying to remove Indian Railways from RCM. That means it will fall where? Obviously FCM. So write down there, somewhere wherever you are comfortable. So example, Indian Railways renting a stall for rupees 40,000 per month. Let us assume to Mr. Vishnu, registered under GST. Registered under GST. Is this RCM or FCM? FCM. Are you understanding the difference, ma? Normally when the government gives services of renting of immovable property to a registered person, it is RCM. But Indian Railways doing it na FCM only. So they have removed it from RCM. Shall we proceed? Everybody, am I clear? Shall I continue? Right. So hope you are copying the examples also, wherever like this was simple. Even though you are following some old books or etc. Whatever the examples we are writing, all the stuff you can just copy in the textbook or in the notes wherever you are writing. But make sure you are giving proper reference there. Right. Shall we proceed, pa? Everybody. Now next, what is next one? Amendment number 6. See, we are discussing chapter number 3 amendments, that is charge. In that RCM amendments are over. Now we are moving into amendment related to e-commerce operator, section 9 subsection 5. E-commerce operator. Have you seen anything amendment in respect to this e-commerce operator, section 9 subsection 5? See, understand, do you remember e-commerce operator, the services covered? What is that? Do you remember the code? TAR. T is what? Transportation of passengers by what? Through e-commerce operator. By what? Using which vehicles? Radio, taxi, motorbike, motorcycle, whatever they call, all that stuff. And radio, taxi, all that. So earlier it was like this. Radio, taxi, motor cab, maxi cab, motorcycle, all that. Now they made an amendment. Listen. They made an amendment saying that any other motor vehicle except omnibus. Omnibus na bus ra, normal bus. You are booking a bus ra from Chennai to Bangalore through Bibo. Correct? So you are transporting the passengers by using a omnibus, but through e-commerce operator Bibo. Now listen carefully everybody. Sir, first of all, just let us understand the provision. Simple. This is the provision, ma. They have now made a, how many entries are there in e-commerce operator? How many services notified? 4. Transportation of passengers, housekeeping, accommodation, restaurant. Now they have added one more thing. This omnibus fellow. Category is same. Transportation of passengers category only. But that except omnibus they told no. For omnibus they came up with a new entry. Sir, don't do so much overaction. What is the conclusion? Conclusion is simple. You are transporting the passengers using e-commerce operator. E-commerce through e-commerce operator. Using what? Omnibus. Now the question is, who are you? Who is the supplier? Sir, supplier, the travels company is there? No. Is it a company? That means, is it a private limited company or a public company? Company or not? Sir, it is a company, sir. Then let that fellow only pay GST, no? Why are you shifting the burden to the e-commerce operator? And the travels company also will enjoy ATC, all these things will be there. So let them pay on their own. Sir, travels company is not actually a company, sir. They are a sole proprietor. See, for example, sir, there is a firm called Transformers Travels. So this is a sole proprietor business owned by Mr. Optimus Prime, let us assume that way. So this is a sole proprietor business. This fellow, he is having a busma, and this fellow is operating it from, let us say, Chennai to Bangalore or whatever it is. And you see nowadays anybody are listing themselves in GoIbibo, Paytm, Redbus, Avibus, all these things, correct? This fellow also listed. You are booking a ticket to travel from Chennai to Bengaluru. Ticket price is 200 rupees. GST 36 rupees. AC bus, AC bus. Okay. So ticket price is 200 rupees, GST 36 rupees, 18%. Who is liable to pay GST now? E-commerce operator is liable to pay GST because supplier is not a company. Supplier is not a company. But sir, imagine the Travels Private Limited is a travels company. They are also having buses enrolled or enlisted with GoIbibo. You are coming and booking the ticket in GoIbibo. Ticket price again 10,000 rupees. 1,800 GST. Now, who is the supplier first of all? The Travels Private Limited. Who is the recipient? Sanchar, Mr. Sanchar, a person. Who is that mediating this transaction? E-commerce operator GoIbibo. GoIbibo is liable to pay GST? No, GoIbibo is not liable to pay GST. Generally, normally, earlier it was yes. Now the amendment is, sir, you are transporting passengers by omnibus, sir. And if you are a company, I don't want e-commerce operator to interfere here because you are already a company. You will be complying with the law. So you only take that responsibility, sir. Let us not bother e-commerce operator. Are you able to understand, ma? So the concept is simple. Example, see, one fellow is booking ticket through a GoIbibo, again also through GoIbibo. But the difference is what? One case the supplier is company, the other case supplier is not a company. Am I clear? Shall we proceed? So that is what the concept. So if you want, you can copy this, pause the video and copy, those who are watching the recording. Near section 9 subsection 5, wherever you, whatever the book you are using also, you can write it there, or you can just take it as a separate note also, no issues. Done, ma? Next, this example. Pause the video and copy this. Hope the font size is visible, online students. Font size is visible. I repeat here, the concept is whether you are a company or not a company, whether you are registered or unregistered or nothing like that. No one student is asking it out, sir, what if I am not a company but still registered under G? Here the question itself is not about your registration status. It is about your organization. Which type of organization? You are a company or not a company? If you are a company, you only take the responsibility. Sir, I am not registered, sir. Take registration and do that. Simple. Okay, ma? So that is what the concept. Shall we proceed, ma? Everybody? Right. Copied up. Font size visible, ma? Clear? So first, okay, if it is not clear, pause the video and copy this, those who are watching the recording. You copied the example, right? Copied the example. Shall I continue? Online students, shall I continue? Respond. Okay, next this one, right? Pause the video and copy this. I should have mentioned in the Telegram group, take the printout of amendments and come like that. I mentioned, huh? Did I mention? Right. I thought my students are like bright, they will understand implied intention of giving the soft copy earlier. Maybe you are under exam tension, so the brain is not functioning properly. So let us continue. The amendment clear, shall I just summarize what is that? Sir, what is that you are doing? The transportation of passengers, the vehicle is what? Bus. The vehicle is omnibus. Who is the supplier? Company. Then who is liable to pay GST? Any other case? E-commerce operator is liable to pay GST, right? So let us continue. Next. Let us move on to the next one. Guys, we are done with this chapter number 3, charge. So supply and charge we have discussed. So 6 amendments covered so far. Now we are moving into see. Already 30% of the amendments are done in the discussion now. Okay, so now let us move on to the next one. Place of supply. Do you remember place of supply still? Gist. You remember? You want me to give gist? Oh, you attended revision class or amendments class? You are attending what? Right. So listen. I will just give you the background regarding just related to this amendment at least. See, if you understand, in place of supply, 2 sections are important for you. Section 10 and 12 obviously. What is section 10? Easiest section. Section 10 is regarding place of supply where you supply the goods. And if you remember section 10, section 10 of IGST Act, not composition scheme, that is CGST Act. Section 10 of IGST Act is place of supply. Place of supply for goods. Okay, shall I continue? No, everybody, the moment I say section 10, obviously yes, composition scheme. That is CGST Act, this is IGST Act. Wait, 1 second. So it is IGST Act. Okay. Now listen, I will just give you a background here. Sir, section 10, if you remember, section 10 subsection 1, clause A, clause C, clause D, clause E, clause B, you have studied. If you remember, I will just tell you, I will give you a briefing of this. Sir, what is the place of supply if the movement of goods is not involved? In a supply where movement of goods is not involved, what is the place of supply? Location where the goods are handed over, correct? So that will be the place of supply. Location of goods itself where they are handed over, all this stuff, right? Sir, what if there is movement involved? That is what clause C. Place of supply where movement is involved. The destination of the goods. Yes or no? Check your textbook. Involves movement. Okay. Whatever it is. Involves movement. Okay then. Okay. Involves movement of goods. What is the place of supply? Location of delivery. Correct. So simple. You have seen. Sir, goods. Terminates where it is. Okay. So now listen. Movement of goods involved or not involved? Correct. If movement of goods is involved, where the goods are delivered or the delivery is terminated, ending. Movement is not involved, sir, then where the goods are handed over or where the location of the goods is there, correct? Now that is clause A and clause C. And if you remember, sir, what if the goods are delivered at the directions given by some other person? Build to ship to model, you remember? So where the goods are delivered to a different place under my direction. So for example, you are in Hyderabad, I am in Chennai. Okay, sir, you have to sell, you are selling the goods to me. You have to sell the goods, you have to deliver the goods to me. I am asking, hey, my customer is in Bangalore. Instead of you sending goods to me to Chennai and I sending him to Bangalore, however, it is in middle only, like you just send it to Bangalore from Hyderabad. You are sending the goods to Bangalore. You tell me movement is involved or not involved? Involved. Where the goods are terminated, delivery is terminated, transportation is terminated? Bangalore. Can I take Bangalore as place of supply? No, you should take the place of supply. You are in Hyderabad, that fellow is in Bangalore, this fellow is the third person. Who gave you the direction to deliver in Bangalore? Vishnu. Where Vishnu is, that will be the place of supply. That will be the place of supply. That is clause B. That is clause B. And sir, if the goods involves any installation, etc., etc., then the place of supply will be where the goods are assembled or installed. What is clause E then finally? Clause E. Goods supplied on board a conveyance. I told you, Vande Bharat train, you are traveling from Chennai to Bengaluru. In middle you are hungry, buying some Haldirams, Moong Dal or Kurkure packet. All these things goods are. What is the place of supply for that? Where the goods are taken on board. Sir, the goods are taken on board in Chennai. Place of supply also will be? Do you remember that? Now the amendment is clause CA. Okay, the amendment is clause CA. Simple amendment, man, nothing to worry. Oh, listen. You are going to Pondicherry after your exams to celebrate the completion of exams. Okay, right? Now the point is, you tell me you are unregistered. You are going to Pondicherry, purchasing a mobile in Pondicherry. You are normally from Chennai, went to Pondi, purchased the mobile and coming back. What is the place of supply? Sir, for that they have created a new scenario. Where people are normally traveling, and when they are traveling to different places, they are purchasing the goods and coming, all the stuff. So now they have made an amendment in the law to make sure that destination, that is that their state, will also get a share in revenue. Why? Because you are going to Pondicherry, but you are from Tamil Nadu, you are from Telangana, Karnataka. If they are charging CGST, SGST always, what will happen? Their state will take the revenue, but actually consumption is in which state? Your state. So they are just trying to figure out this, and they made an amendment here. I am extremely sorry, this flowchart in the amendment material, some copy paste issues, I just pasted both the cases, same answer only. But normally, listen, normally, sir, address of this unregistered fellow, you are recording in the invoice. That means in the shop they are asking, sir, what is your address, sir? You should not say, I will not tell you, sir. Okay, so if at all, maybe you may disclose it or you may not disclose, it is up to you based upon what you are buying there. Okay, suppose you have given your address, that is recorded in the invoice also. Now I am going to Pondicherry buying a mobile. I told them, sir, my address is Chennai. In the invoice they have given the address of the recipient, Chennai. So the place of supply will be Chennai. I repeat, when this place of supply, section 10 subsection 1 clause CA comes into picture, sir, when the sale of goods is happening to an unregistered person, then what is the place of supply? Sir, the place of supply is, if the address is recorded in the invoice, that address itself will be the place of supply. No, sir, address is not recorded in the invoice, then location of the supplier. So in Pondicherry I have purchased the mobile. He asked me address. I told, no sir, not relevant for you, you ignore it. I will not reveal. So he is not recording the, or some reasons, we have not recorded the address in the invoice. Now what will be the place of supply? Location of the supplier. That means you understand, in this case, there is a possibility it can be CGST plus SGST, or it can be IGST. You are also from Pondicherry, that fellow also from Pondicherry, address is registered in invoice. Address is recorded in the invoice. Your address, where is your address? Pondicherry, sir. Supplier is where? Pondicherry. You are where? Place of supply, Pondicherry. CGST plus SGST will come? No sir, I am from Chennai sir. Record my address as Chennai in the invoice. Then what will come into picture? Chennai. So location of supplier? Location of supplier, Pondicherry. Place of supply? Interstate supplier? IGST. So there is a. But in this case what will happen? Always CGST plus SGST only, or always CGST plus UTGST. Correct? So that will be the scenario. Hope you have understood that. So the concept is simple. There is a new clause inserted, clause CA below section 10 subsection 1. They are saying that, sir, where supply of goods is made to a person other than registered, that means unregistered fellow, the place of supply shall be notwithstanding anything contrary contained in clause A or clause C. That means this is having a non-obstante clause, correct? Oh, yes or no? This is superior to clause A and clause C. If you feel like, sir, it is in conflict with clause A or clause C, like that, if you feel, follow this fellow only, clause CA, not clause A and clause C. Am I clear, ma? Shall I proceed? Right. Now, so what will be the place of supply, ma? The place of supply shall be location as per the address of the said person recorded in the invoice. Suppose, sir, if that fellow address is not recorded in the invoice, location of the supplier shall be the place of supply. So in simple words, I just gave a flow chart here. Sir, sale of goods happening to an unregistered person. His address you are recording in the invoice. I repeat here, recipient should be unregistered. In exam they can ask you registered person. You should not get overexcited and write this address recorded or not recorded. All these things you should not check. Then you should go with clause C and clause C, or clause B, clause D, clause C, whatever it is applicable. Clause CA will come only when the recipient is unregistered. Recipient is unregistered. This is very, very, very important. Recipient should be unregistered. The important point is, recipient shall be unregistered person. So I repeat, in this case nothing else is relevant. Nothing else is relevant. Clause CA straight away. Movement is there or not there, all these things you need not worry at all. Shall we proceed, ma? Because this is having a non-obstante clause. Shall we proceed? Next. See here, this is the next one, amendment number 8, and this amendment is not any amendment as such, it is a clarification. It is just a clarification regarding place of supply. Okay. Now listen carefully, ma. Listen carefully. So the next clarification. See what is this, na? But normally you will be seeing this big hoardings and all in the highways, etc., etc., and other places. Sir, for what purpose we are using that hoardings, na? Advertising. Now see, normally there will be some advertisement agencies. Sir, these advertisement agencies, what they will do, they will get corporate clients. Okay. For this company, whatever the advertisement we have to do, wherever the hoardings are available, all the stuff, doing that advertisement is my headache. Imagine I am an advertising agency. You are my client, ra. Imagine you are launching a new brand, new company. Okay. So now you are like bringing a new brand, CA, Confused Atma Services Private Limited, like that. So you are bringing a new brand, something you want to advertise it. Now the point is, you are coming to me, I am an advertisement agency. You are coming and asking, Vishnu sir, wherever you want to advertise, you advertise. You tell me what is your plan, what is your package, all that stuff. I told I will advertise in social media, I will advertise in newspaper, I will advertise in hoardings. Sir, wherever you see, your brand will be visible. Okay. Even on tissue papers, I will print your brand, sir. Like that I am just telling you. Now the point is, sir, the doubt regarding is, What this advertisement agency, as an advertisement agency, what I will do now, people will be owning this holdings. For example, somebody has constructed a 5-floor house. On the top of that fellow prepared a space for advertisement. Have you seen such things, sir? On top of any building there will be holding space and all. They would have been mentioned for advertisement, contact. Correct? Such people I am just going and meeting. Now what happens? Sir, that fellow, there are two possibilities. So you are coming with a company, and now let us assume I am going to this fellow. This fellow is called as what? Vendor. In our discussion, remember that fellow is the vendor. What is that he is giving to me? He is giving me that advertising space. He is the owner of that space actually. Holding is belonging to that fellow. Right? This holding is there, no? This holding owner. This holding owner or tenant or something or the other. It is in whose control? Right? That vendor's control. Okay. Now you tell me, whenever I ask him, sir, in this holding, I want Santur soap advertisement. He will put Santur soap advertisement. I will ask, sir, I want Jio advertisement in this holding. He will put Jio. I will take money from Santur and Jio, that's a different story. But I am asking, this concept is regarding only, the discussion is regarding these two people only. Clarification is, are you understanding the point, ma? You are owning a holding and you are giving it to the advertising agency. Now you tell me, sir, whenever I am asking to change some advertisement, you are changing it, right? But I should ask you to change it, correct? Yes or no? You will say weekly this much or per day this much. You pay, I will put it. And later on he will give it to somebody else. Now tell me, what is that he is providing to me? Can I say he is also providing advertisement services? Yes or no? He is also providing advertisement services to me. Yes or no? He is having the holding. He is advertising for me Santur brand. I am asking him to advertise Santur brand. I am asking him to advertise Jio brand. I am asking him to advertise this confused Atma brand. So he is advertising and he is charging. So that means he is providing advertisement services to me. Are you understand? To whom? To advertising agency. This advertising agency will provide advertisement services to the clients. I take that service and I give to the clients. Because corporate clients cannot go and talk with all individuals. Sir, is this holding yours, sir? So Santur company will go and say, put my board, sir. Not possible. So these people will have some advertising agencies. These people will do all these activities. Am I clear? Now tell me how I should decide place of supply here. So place of supply you should decide as per section 12 subsection 2. As per general rule. As per general rule. Okay, supply of service, sir, place of supply as per general rule. Because for this nowhere specific entry is given. Nowhere specific entry is given. For advertisements, any specific entry is there in place of supply? Any subsection is there? Is there, but it is for government. You remember advertising the government schemes, all that stuff, there is one entry. Place of supply, advertising in cinema theaters, advertising on trains, advertising on tickets, advertising on utility bills, advertising in TV. Now this is the trend of the current season, elections is going on. Wherever you see, you open YouTube also, political advertisements only, open anything so the same way we have seen advertising regarding government, providing to government. But this advertisement you are not providing to government, you are providing to whom? Government agencies. So section 12 subsection 2 general rule will come into picture. Listen ma. Now this fellow vendor is not advertising Santur soap whenever I ask, Jio brand whenever I ask. I am telling him, give that complete holding under my control. I am coming and asking you, that holding should be under my control. I will put morning Santur soap, night Jio. That is my wish. You don't interfere. How much you want, you tell me. Sir, 1 lakh per month, sir. Okay, I will give 1 lakh per month. Now tell me, is the complete holding under my control? What is the service he is providing to me? Renting of immovable property. Yes or no, that is an immovable property. Can I say renting of immovable property? Then place of supply, how will you decide? 12 subsection 3 is there. Do you remember? Place of supply will be the location of immovable property. You remember that one? That is what the clarification. So Simple here. What is happening? Sir, these vendors are providing these hoarding spaces to advertisement agencies, and the advertisement agencies are providing it to the clients. Sir, this is clear for us, sir. What is clear for us, sir? This is clear. Here what is happening? Between advertising agency and the clients, what is happening, Ra? This case, it is purely advertisement. So here place of supply will come as per section 12 subsection 2 general rule. We don't have any doubt. The doubt was only in this area. In this area there are two possibilities, sir. That fellow is also providing advertising services only to me, or he is giving that hoarding itself on rent to me. Sir, you change whatever you want, sir. Monthly you give me this much rent. So renting of immobile property. So one case renting of immobile property, the other case advertisement services. If it is renting of immobile property, what is the place of supply? Location of the immobile property. Sir, if it is just advertising for me, then normal, sir, general rule. 12 subsection 2 is a general rule. Place of supply shall be decided accordingly, whether the recipient is registered or not, all that stuff. Shall I continue? Very important amendment or clarification can be tested in the exam. They can ask you what is the place of supply. See, place of supply itself is a new chapter for you. Okay, so definitely one easy question should come from that. Definitely easy question. They will not ask anything. They will say one fellow is doing this particular good or service to other fellow. Determine place of supply. Please make sure you are thorough with ICA study material, examples, illustrations, everything with respect to place of supply chapter, TDS, TCS and accounts and records. These three are the fresh chapters for May 24 exam. Make sure ICA study material, left, right, center, you are going through these examples and questions. And latest RTPs and MTPs. These three chapters, the questions should be, like, you should be very much thorough. So obviously you should get one laddu question from this. Shall we continue? So that is the clarification. So this is the example for you. This is the example for you. And if you want to take the screenshots, online students, you can take the screenshots. Next, so look at this one. Now we have discussed about what? Agreement between advertisement agent company and vendor. Sir, what is happening? The hoardings or structures or billboards are under the control of advertising company. That means I can change whenever I want, whatever I want. So then it is nothing but what? Vendor is renting immobile property. So what is the place of supply? Place of supply is as per section 12 subsection 3, sir. No, sir, they are under the control of vendor only, sir. Okay, and it is his responsibility to display the ads, etc. That means what? Sir, vendor is in fact providing advertisement services to the advertising agency. So obviously what? The place of supply is determined as per section 12 subsection 2, the general rule. Shall I continue? Everybody, online students, respond ma. Is it clear? Shall we proceed? Online students, respond. Shall we continue, everyone? Next. So what is next one? So with this we are done with place of supply amendments. Exemption amendments also, some we have already finished, that is like related to government services. Very important things are here. See, this one already should be there in your books when we have discussed, if you remember, and it is given in statutory update as well. Actually, remember just this. Sir, satellite launch services are provided, no? Further, they are, nowadays, you know, India has developed so much. We are not launching our own satellites. We are launching the satellites of even other countries. Okay, so everything is not free, right? Okay, so the point is there can be some consideration, all that. So such satellite launch services provided by whom? Provided by ISRO, and there are some other companies like Antrix Corporation Limited or New Space India Limited. For this, these people are collecting consideration, that is exempt under GST. Am I clear? So what is the concept? Simple, sir. Satellite launch services provided by these people are exempt under GST. Okay, shall I continue? Next, this exemptions government services, sir. I told you, next to the Department of Post, they have just added Indian Railways, nothing else. This is important amendment for you, can be tested in the exam. What is this amendment, ma? Read this, sir, read this. Ma, this can be tested as a separate 2-mark question, or this can be tested as a adjustment in the problem also. If you see in RTP there is a problem. They gave in the problem, normally you know calculation of ITC or calculation of net GST payable in cash, minimum net GST payable in cash, such problems, you know there are so many sales and so many purchases given, you will calculate output tax, input tax, set off, all these things. And if you remember in the classroom we have discussed so many times, sir, sales, sometimes they can give you taxable sales, exempt sales. Purchases also something taxable, something exempt. Sales sometimes that might be covered under RCM, or purchases sometimes may be covered under RCM. So that you have to identify accordingly. You should decide what is your output tax and input tax and then set off. That is what we do, correct? In those adjustments they can ask these type of things. Okay, and in RTP also in the question they have asked this. The question is simple. They said in the RTP, in the amendment, like in the problem, one adjustment is like this. There is a firm, partnership firm Cute and Co. Okay, so they have provided various sales and purchases. They have given one adjustment there. Services provided to a governmental authority by way of sanitation conservancy, charged 99,900. What is the tax treatment for that? Sir, it is provided to governmental authority. What is that you are providing? Here, did they focus on who should be the supplier? Here in this entry you are seeing the entry is in front of you, the entry is in front of you. Did they tell anything about the supplier? That means what? Supplier can be any person. So sir, supplier can be any person. Supplier can be any person. But definitely recipient should be who? Government authority. Sir, let us assume there is greater some housing board, some authority is there in Chennai. For them you are providing water supply. Or sir, we are doing solid waste management or slum improvement. Monthly we are billing them. Okay. I told you in class also when we are discussing, sir, there can be so many third parties whom we are outsourcing the work of waste management or maintaining the roads, all these things. So like this, if you are outsourcing anything, sir, who is the recipient? Governmental authority. And supplier can be any person. In such case, that supply is exempt under GST. Shall we proceed, everybody? So that is what the concept. That is what the concept. That is the only thing which is left in this chapter. So we are done with that. Important, ma. Please be careful with that. Shall we proceed? Next. So with this we are done with exemptions also. Let us move on to value of supply. Some interesting amendments here. So can be tested as a case study based question. We have seen an amendment related to online money gaming, specified actionable claims. You tell me, specified actionable claims, goods or services? Specified actionable claims, goods or services? Are they goods or the services? Actionable claims are in which definition, goods or service? Goods. Then specified actionable claims will also come under goods. First thing, actionable claims, goods. Do you remember the definition? So actionable claims are nothing but goods. Now in schedule 3 what we have said, sir, schedule 3 actionable claims other than specified actionable claims they have given. That means specified actionable claims are treated as supply of goods. Just now I have written in front of you the amendment will be treated as a SOG, supply of goods. Now the concept here is, sir, the concept here is regarding, see, this amendment is regarding time of supply. This amendment is regarding time of supply actually. I wrote there with over excitement value of supply. I'm sorry for that. So it is time of supply. Shall we proceed? Shall we proceed, everyone? So what is that? What is the amendment here? Hey, do you remember the advances, ma? For advances received, what is the time of supply? The moment you receive, that will be time of supply, but that is only for services. For goods, the time of supply for advances is A doi or D doi, whichever is earlier. Do you remember actual date of invoice or due date of invoice, whichever is earlier? Section number, what is the section number? 12 subsection 2. General rule, time of supply, correct? What is the general rule, ma? Time of supply for goods, task for goods, A doi or D doi, whichever is earlier. That is actual date of invoice, actual date of invoice, A doi or D doi. We have discussed that way in the class, correct? Whichever is earlier. So now, sir, specified actionable claims also what? Goods only, no sir. There you are receiving some advance. Then, what is the time of supply? For these people, I don't want to give that relaxation. Okay, if I receive advance, immediately it should be taxed. That is the reason why, sir, for all goods, you can just write down other than specified actionable claims. What is the time of supply, pa? According to section 12 subsection 2? Saranya, that is completely different entry, ma. That entry is still there. Right, government is different, governmental authority is different. Please don't get confused. Now listen, ma. So here, what is the point here? Specified actionable claims. Sir, as I told, time of supply for all goods other than actionable claims, specified actionable claims will be just A doi or D doi, whichever is earlier. But if it is specified actionable claim, then it is straight away for the advances. Time of supply will be date of receipt. So time of supply for advances received. Shall I continue? Next, what is next one? So with this we are done with this time of supply. Amendment number 10 is done, ma. So let us move on to the next one. So hardly 8 more pages, small amendments, but important amendments. Let us continue it. Everybody comfortable till now? Ma, Saranya, is your doubt clear? Shall we proceed, ma? Everybody? Shall we continue? Any 5 minutes break or 2 minutes break you need? Not required, no. Shall I continue? So next one, what is next one? Registration topic, ma. Yeah, important chapter, registration. So listen, what are the amendments here? Sir, what is this amendment? Amendment number 11. If you remember the registration procedure when we were discussing Aadhaar authentication concept, do you remember? Aadhaar authentication has to be done. If Aadhaar authentication is not done, what is the main drawback? The proper officer will come for physical verification of the premises. There the small amendment here is, listen carefully. Sir, to do physical verification, the taxpayer, the applicant should be there, no sir? Now not required. Are you understanding the point? Earlier, sir, physical verification in the presence of the applicant. So your presence is required that time. Physical verification, it should be done in the presence of the taxpayer. Now simple, look at this. When you are doing physical verification, sir, when physical verification is required? Sir, first of all, Aadhaar authentication failed. Aadhaar authentication itself is not opted. Or the proper officer feels that he has to do the physical verification. Or the system will select your file based upon the risk parameters and data analytics. Do you remember that? One is your mistake, officer mistake, and system mistake. So you are saying like, sir, I don't want Aadhaar authentication. Or you tried Aadhaar authentication but it failed because of your name mismatch, etc. etc. Next, proper officer is selecting. I want to do physical verification in this case. Fourth case is what? System is selecting your file. Sir, do physical verification file. Sir, this fellow did Aadhaar authentication but still I have doubt. Or this fellow has opted for Aadhaar authentication. I want to get that Aadhaar authentication using biometric done. I told you it is being implemented in Gujarat on pilot based project, as a pilot based project, all that. Do you remember that? So the point is, now simple amendment, physical verification to be done by the proper officer, but it need not be done in the presence of the taxpayer. Clear? Now the point is, sir, physical verification, all these things from last few years you are doing this. Before that, that was not there. So physical verification can come into picture even after the grant of registration. Are you understanding the point? Or before grant of registration. Both the cases they are trying to tell us, sir, the presence, physical presence of that person is not required. Okay. So before the, after the registration, you go do physical verification of the business, place of business, sorry, of the place of business, the proper officer, you do the verification, everything, prepare a report, verification report, and submit to us within a period of 15 working days from the date of verification. Guys, this is after registration. So you already have a registration. Proper officer felt like he has to do the physical verification, he is coming. He need not do that in your presence. He has to come and check the place of business, whether the business is being done in that registered place or not. So he can check and give a verification report. Within how many days he should give the verification report to the department? Within 15 days from the date of verification. But sir, what if before registration he is coming, sir? He is coming before registration only. Then physical verification he has to do. And physical verification, whenever it is required, do you remember within how many days registration certificate should be granted? Normally 7 days, when Aadhaar authentication is successful. Within 7 days, when Aadhaar authentication is successful. Correct upon online students? Sir, if Aadhaar authentication fails, etc., etc., we have discussed all these cases. No, Aadhaar authentication failed, you have not opted, proper officer wants to do physical verification, system has selected your application as per the risk analytics and data analytics and risk parameters. In that cases, they will come for physical verification. If the physical verification situation comes, then what will happen? It is not 7 working days, it is 30 days from the date of submission of application. Within 30 days, 7 days, 7 working days, 30 days, do you remember that? 7 working days and 30 days. Do you remember my online students? 7 working days and 30 days. So here the point is, sir, there is a 30 days time limit, Nora, for you to process the application and give the registration certificate. I am the proper officer going and doing physical verification. Okay. Now what should be done? I should give a report. When I give report only, you will process the application and grant the registration, or you reject the application. So I should give that report to you at least 5 working days, at least 5 working days prior to the completion of the time period. What is the time period there? "30 days from the date of submission of application." Am I clear? Shall we proceed? Date of submission of application. Shall we continue, ma? Next. So there is one amendment, ma? One interesting amendment there. Next one. This amendment is important for you again. Nice chances of being tested. Do you remember Rule 10A? Rule 10A is nothing but providing your bank account details. Once you get registered, You remember within 45 days, you have to give your bank account details or the date of filing the return under section 37, like that there was one provision. Now they have changed the time limits here. Sir, when you get registration, when you get registration, you will get your login ID password in GST portal. You create your account, and when you are creating your account, all that happens. Sir, next to what you have to do now, you should update your bank details in your portal online. You are normally people are neglecting that. So what they did, they made a law in such a way that within 30 days, within 30 days from the date of grant of registration, I want information with respect to your bank account. Your bank account details should be updated in the GST portal. Online only, no, log into your account, upload your cancelled check leaf, all that stuff, fill the details and submit it. That also you are not doing now. So within 30 days you have to do it. Within 30 days from which date to which date? From the date of grant of registration or before furnishing the GSTR1 or IFF, whichever is earlier. Whichever is earlier. But this is separate, right? Okay? This is separate. days is not from the date of filing GSTR1 ray. Either 30 days from the date of grant of registration. Next in what is next one? Or before even filing GSTR1, whichever is earlier. Before filing your GSTR1 or IFF, whichever is earlier. Am I clear? Now, sir, I won't do that, sir. What will you do? I will suspend your registration. I will suspend your registration. So, this is, see, I just connected the statutory update different points with respect to the concept here. The concept is, I am asking you to give your bank account details in the portal. If you are not giving that, what will I do? Sir, there is an amendment in Rule 21A happening, saying that what? We will first suspend your registration. So once registration is suspended, next what is that? Cancellation proceedings are initiated, correct? Your registration will be cancelled. So what should I do, sir? Update your bank account details before registration is cancelled. Sir, I have updated, sir. I have updated. Registration you have suspended, sir. Automatically I will revoke the suspension. Are you understanding the point, ma? You got your registration, listen carefully, you got your registration within 30 days from the date of registration or before the date of filing GSTR1 or IFF, you should give your bank account details in the GST portal. If you don't give that, I will suspend your registration and issue a notice for you. Come and give me clarification, otherwise I will cancel your registration certificate. You are not required to come to office and give clarification, nothing. Just update bank account details in the common portal. Automatically suspension will be revoked. Automatically suspension will be revoked. Otherwise it will be cancelled. Sir, it is cancelled, sir. Later on I am going and updating the details, sir. Then already cancelled, Nora. What can I do now? Even if you have updated bank account details, I cannot help you. What you should do now? Apply for revocation of cancellation. Do you remember that? Apply for revocation of cancellation. Revocation of cancellation. Madam, do you remember revocation of cancellation? Apply for revocation of cancellation. Do you remember the time limit for applying for revocation of cancellation? 30 plus 30 plus 30, do you remember? 30 plus 30 plus 30, 90, like that we have discussed. Yes or no? Now, one second, listen. Sir, there is an amendment in the time limit also. See, I am taking you from one concept to a different concept in the flow there. Are you understanding? I am scared of your expressions. Online students, are you with me? Is it clear? So they have made an amendment here. So what is the time limit to apply for revocation, pa? Sir, 90 days. It is not 30 days anymore. Within 90 days from the date of service of order of cancellation. Okay. So it is 90 days. Shall we proceed? Now, sir, whether this 90 days can be extended, sir. Yes, your delay within that 90 days you are not filing the revocation, no, that can be condoned. Condoned by whom? Commissioner or an officer authorized by him who is not below the rank of additional commissioner or joint commissioner. And how much period they can condone the delay? They can condone the delay not exceeding 180 days. That means, can I say it is 90 plus 180 now? Yes or no? But this 180 depends upon the officer. Okay, you have to satisfy them with a sufficient reason. Am I clear? Obviously, they will condone the delay, not an issue. Shall we proceed now? What is the concept here? Just let me cover this two amendments together. Simple. Sir, you are a person registered under GST, sir. You are a person registered under GST. What you should do after taking registration, you should update your bank account details with the common portal. Within how many days? 30 days from the date of grant of registration or before filing GSTR1 or IFF, whichever is earlier. Sir, sorry sir, I forgot sir, I did not do that. Then your registration will be suspended, pa? Your registration shall be suspended. Your registration shall be suspended if the above rule has not been complied with. Okay? Because we have amended Rule 21A accordingly. Rule 21A talks about suspension of registration. We have amended that also, and we placed a point there. If you are not updating your bank account details as per Rule 10A, your registration shall be suspended. And the suspension, we will not just keep quiet, we will intimate to you to your registered mail ID along with the notice for cancellation of registration. So if you are responding, no problem. So what you are doing, sir, you are complying with Rule 10A, then automatically what will happen? Suspension shall be revoked. But what is the condition? Registration should not be cancelled for that. You cannot go and say, sir, I have updated bank account details. Your registration is already cancelled yesterday. Sorry. So before cancelling the registration, you should do this. Am I clear, ma? Everybody? Now, sir, after cancellation of my registration, I am updating bank account details. I am not in city or I am not in the country only. I traveled for some vacation. I went abroad. All that I was not looking into the emails, etc., etc. So now what should be done? You can apply for revocation of cancellation. You can apply for revocation of cancellation. Sir, what is the time limit to apply for revocation of cancellation, sir? There is an amendment here in section 30, revocation of cancellation. Sir, what is that they are trying to tell? Within 90 days from the date of cancellation order. A very important amendment, ma, registration. Please be careful. Within 90 days, what you should do? Apply for registration. Apply for registration. Am I clear? Right. Now the point is, till now you are clear. Sir, whether this can be condoned by any proper officer? Yes, commissioner or the officer authorized by him can condone this delay for a further period not exceeding 180 days. For a further period not exceeding 180 days. Am I clear till now? Everybody? In this, one small point is left out. Do you remember government departments, local authorities, government establishments registering under GST for section 51 purpose, TDS compliance? Do you remember that? See, now imagine, sir, I am a local authority. I am a local authority. I gave contract to a person to construct a road. Contract is 10 crores. Okay, contract is 10 crores. Greater than 2,50,000. Contract TDS contract limit is how much? Is there any limit? What is the limit, ma? 2 lakh, 2 lakh 50, 1 lakh, 1 lakh 50. What is the limit, ma? Online students respond. Do you remember 2 lakh 50,000? TDS chapter, TDS chapter. 2 lakh 50,000. TDS TCS, I gave one proper flowcharts for you. Please make sure you are referring them. What is the chapter number of TDS TCS? Page number you tell me. 342. Okay. Hmm. Like this we have discussed properly. Do you remember this? Contractor, local authorities, or the contract is 10 lakhs, you are making a payment. My contract value should be greater than 2 lakh 50. That means the contract I gave you is more than 2 lakh 50. Payments I might be giving in installments, no. Payment even if it is 10,000 TDS will come. Payment even if it is 1 rupee TDS will come into picture. Clear? Only the contract matters here. So when you are entering into the contract, I am the local authority, you have to construct the road. Contract is for 10 crores. Now, sir, when I am making payment to you, whenever I make payment, even 1 rupee payment, right? Even 1 rupee payment, TDS will come into picture. Sir, what I should do as a local authority? I should deduct that TDS sum, how much percentage? 2%. Section 51 TDS 2%. 1% CGST, 1% SGST. Now, sir, I should deduct that TDS and this local authority has to pay what? This TDS amount deducted. Imagine I am paying some 1 lakh rupees to you, payment. TDS I should deduct. How much ma? 2%, 2000, 1000 CGST, 1000 SGST. This is in my hand. This example is crystal clear. Please make sure you are not ignoring. So now imagine 1 lakh is the payment. Sir, how much I should give to the contractor? 98,000 only. TDS I will deduct 1%, 1%. But sir, there will be GST also on that. Contractor will charge GST on me. He will charge GST on me. How much? On how much? On 1 lakh or 98,000? 1 lakh. So he will charge 9,000 plus 9,000, correct? I should give 18,000 also to him. I should give him 1,18,000 normally. But law is saying to deduct TDS. TDS on what? Value, not including GST. 1 lakh is the value. That means I am deducting 2,000. Total 1,18,000 minus 2,000 I will give him. 1,16,000. How much is in my hand? This who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Local authority. I am local authority. You are contractor. I am local authority. I am paying you. You constructed the road. I am paying you. How much is left in my hand? 2,000. Whose money? Your money. I should deposit it with the GST department. To deposit with GST department, what will I do? I will send to PhonePe, through PhonePe to our finance minister. Madam, take this 2,000. I should get registration under GST. So I got registration under GST. Are you understanding the point? I got GST registration for what purpose? For what purpose? To deposit TDS, to comply section 51. Okay, to comply section 51. Now, sir, should I update my bank account details in my GST portal? You just now told no, anybody registering under GST should update their bank account details in GST portal. You need not do that, right? Why? You are registering under GST just to follow section 51 provision or section 52 provision, e-commerce operator, TCS. Okay, so I am just trying to tell you that, sir, if you are registered under GST, just because to follow TDS and TCS provisions, that is section 51 and 52, for you this provision is not applicable. That means you need not update your bank account details. That means, can I say, where shall I write this? Can I say, person applying for registration just to comply with section 51 or 52 provisions need not update his what? Need not update his bank account details. Am I clear? Shall we proceed? So later on, make sure you are taking the printout of the material and writing these points, all that stuff, so that one revision also will be done for you. Next. Is this clear, pa? Shall I continue? So with this, the amendment with respect to registration, amendment number 12 and 13 is done. So let us move on to the next one. Ma, till now comfortable, ara? Shall I continue? Next, what is next one? Amendment number 14. Very simple amendment. What is that, ra? Amendment is related to online money gaming, ma. Do you remember CTPs, NRTPs when we discussed about registration procedure? NRTP example, David Warner coming and playing IPL, applying for GST registration in India. He will have PAN card. So same way, this fellow is a person supplying online money gaming. From where? From a place outside India. To whom? To person in India. How he will have his PAN, ra? How he will have the state or union territory in India? So these people are excluded from declaring their PAN and state or union territory for applying for registration. They need not select those options. And one more thing, once you select the option for NRTP, automatically what? That will be disabled. Just a clarification here, that's all. Okay. The amendment just to bring on, because online money gaming recently we have removed from schedule 3. So respective amendments they have done, that's all. Nothing major amendment, simple. So you are supplying online money gaming from where? Outside India. To whom? Person in India. So that means you have to take registration in India, right? Otherwise I will ban your online money gaming platform. You know, in India we can ban anything. Correct? So the point is, you may think, sir, what if I am providing online money gaming from abroad to India? What will you do? I don't take GST registration. Na? I will ban your online platform. Simple. Clear? So simple amendment. You need not disclose your PAN, state and union territory in India, of course, because you will not be having those things. Here I told you already, it is 90 plus 180. So this 180 does not include 90. After 90, it can go for a further period not exceeding 180 days. Right? Yes. So let us continue. Next, amendment number 15. So what is amendment number 15? Ma? Just look at the screen. Look at the screen. What is this amendment? You tell me. You are able to recollect something or what? But do you remember section 24? What is section 24? Compulsory registration. Section 22 will talk about the threshold limits 10, 20, 40 lakhs. Section 24 is what? Compulsory registration. If you remember there, sir, in compulsory registration we have discussed, if you are supplying goods through e-commerce operator, then you should definitely take registration. But sir, if I am supplying services through e-commerce operator, in section 24 you would have written some small flowchart in your textbook if you check. Clear? Is there a near section 24? Is there a page number 262? Is there a written a? So the point is simple. I would have given you a flowchart saying that, sir, you are supplying what? Listen. You are supplying through e-commerce operator. Goods or service? Goods means compulsory take registration. Services means you can enjoy the threshold limit of that 10 lakh or 20 lakhs. Clear? That means, sir, supplier of services was given the relaxation from registration till the threshold limit, but supplier of goods was forced to take registration. Clear? That means, you know, for example, I started a business selling of some electronic items, and just today I started the business, so I thought selling them through Amazon will be more beneficial to me. So I'm selling them through Amazon. I'm just registering in Amazon. So I'm asking Amazon platform to enroll me on their platform. They will ask GST registration because it is compulsory as per the law. That means you are forcing even small players to take GST registration, correct? So they came up with a relaxation saying that, even if you are a supplier of goods, you can provide supplies through e-commerce operator. You need not worry about registration until you touch the threshold limit mentioned in section 22 subsection 1. But you have to do me a small favor. Why am I prohibiting you from uh, doing business with through e-commerce operator without registration? Because if you are selling through e-commerce operator, you can sell to anybody across India. If you are selling the goods outside the state, compulsory registration, interstate supply of goods. If you are selling through e-commerce operator also, there are nice chances that you will be selling outside the state. That means you will be escaping registration. So first what I thought, okay, let us not allow these people to sell through e-commerce operator. Why? Because these people may sell to outside the state also. So they will escape GST registration, all that stuff like that they thought. Now, okay, I will allow you to do business through e-commerce operator, sell the goods through e-commerce operator, but promise me one thing, you will not sell outside the state. The only promise I need is what? You should not make interstate supply. For that I am giving some small procedure for you. What is the procedure? First come to the GST portal. In the GST portal, give me your PAN, your address, place of business, and the state or union territory in which you want to make supply. You tell all these things. This is you are doing in common portal, GST portal. Then the portal will give you one enrollment number. Okay, on successful validation of all these things and the PAN, so the portal will give you one enrollment number. That enrollment number you give to that fellow e-commerce operator. You cannot have more than one enrollment number. What you will do, you will go for every state and get one enrollment number. Online you will say, sir, I want to supply in Andhra Pradesh. Sir, I want to supply in Karnataka. I want to supply in Telangana. Each time you apply and you get multiple enrollment numbers. That is not possible, sir. You cannot be granted more than one enrollment number in the state or union territory. So you will have only one enrollment number. So that e-commerce operator's responsibility is what? To make sure you are not making interstate supply. Simple. Earlier the people dealing with goods, selling them through e-commerce operator, they are forced to go for registration. Now we are giving them, yes, you also enjoy the relaxation of your threshold limit, 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs or 40 lakhs or whatever it is there, you enjoy that. But do me a small favor, I am asking you to follow this procedure, you follow that procedure. Simple. What is the procedure? Sir, first don't make any interstate supply, sir. Okay. And not make any supply of goods through e-commerce operator in more than one state or union territory. You should have a PAN and you should give all these details. You get the enrollment number. Don't get enrollment number in more than one state. And no supply of goods shall be made through e-commerce operator without that enrollment number. Simple. They are fixing this process for what? Making sure you are not making interstate supplies. So tomorrow what if I get registration? Sir, can I make interstate supplies? Yes, happily you can make interstate supplies. This enrollment number will become invalid. When? When you register in future. Simple, clear? So when you register in future, this enrollment number will become invalid. Am I clear, ma? Shall we proceed, pa? So that is what the concept. That is what the concept. Just look at this procedure, ma. Just read it once. So let us move on. What is the next one? So we are done with registration chapter, and majority of our students are asking me this doubt everywhere in Instagram, etc., etc. Sir, what is e-invoice limit? E-invoice limit is 5 crores for your attempt, not 10 crores, not 20 crores. You might have seen some questions with old answers which are not amended, etc., etc. Provision is 5 crores. For you, what is the limit for this attempt, ma? It is 5 crores. Am I clear? So the e-invoice limit has been reduced from 10 crores to 5 crores. I think we have already discussed this in class only, right? During lectures only we discussed 5 crores. Yes. Shall we continue? This is interesting amendment. People has asked me like doubt regarding this also. Listen. You read this amendment 17. You tell me what is that your understanding. Make it fast. Amendment number 17. Do you remember e-invoice provisions? Who are not supposed to follow e-invoicing provisions? In that, one fellow will be like government departments, government establishment, government agencies, local authorities, PSUs. Do you remember? Check e-invoice concept, see in your textbook, whichever the book you are following, see whether this. So see whether they have given that. So e-invoice provisions are not applicable to them, correct? Have you seen that, mother? E-invoice not applicable. That is important, can be tested as a straight theory question also. Please be very careful. Ma, listen, ma. Have you seen their point? What is the point there, ma? What is the line there exactly? Read out. Exception. What? That point alone, that government department point alone. Government department, local authorities are not supposed to raise e-invoice, not required to follow e-invoicing. Listen pa. Now, what is this clarification? Here you are asking to raise e-invoice, correct? The difference is, here this government department and local authority is not a supplier, they are the recipient. Are you understanding the point? Now see, for example, but don't misunderstand this provision, right? Don't misunderstand this provision. Listen carefully. Sir, there is a company called Vivard Software Solutions Private Limited. Okay, Vivard Software Solutions Private Limited. You can copy along with me, right? Vivard Software Solutions Private Limited. So what this company is doing, sir, this company's aggregate turnover in preceding financial year is 8 crores rupees. 8 crores. Aggregate turnover in preceding financial year is 8 crores. Okay. Now, sir, there is a Greater Chennai Corporation. Greater Chennai Corporation. Local authority, ama. Sir, this Greater Chennai Corporation also registered under GST. Why they took registration under GST? Just for section 51 compliance. Just for section. That means Greater Chennai Corporation has given some contract for somebody to construct the road. For them, they have to deduct TDS, all that stuff. So for that purpose, they got registered. Now, for that Greater Chennai Corporation, we are designing a software. Some automation we are doing for the local authority for their office, and we are designing some software, and we have provided a service, supply of service for rupees 5 lakhs. Supply of service for rupees 5 lakhs. Should I raise e-invoice is the doubt now. Should I raise e-invoice or not? Vivard should raise e-invoice or not here. Normally for Vivard, the e-invoice is applicable. Why? Because their aggregate turnover has exceeded 5 crores. For them e-invoice is applicable. Now should they raise e-invoice for this fellow? Yes or no? Yes sir, e-invoice will come for every B2B transaction. Oi! This fellow is not raising invoice to anybody. Look at the screen, everybody carefully. This fellow Greater Chennai Corporation is not raising invoice for anyone. Somebody is raising invoice to Greater Chennai Corporation. We give relaxation only when Greater Chennai Corporation is raising the invoice. It doesn't mean that anybody giving invoice to Greater Chennai Corporation need not raise e-invoice. It is not like that, correct? So Vivard shall raise e-invoice, apa? Shall raise e-invoice to Greater Chennai Corporation because it is a B2B supply, because it is B2B. Can be tested as a case study based question, please be careful. So can be like because it is a B2B supply. Shall I continue? If anybody wants to take the screenshot or photo, please take it. I will share the soft copy also. Those who are just watching the recording or anything, like take a screenshot. Shall we proceed? So that is what the point, because it is a B2B supply. Shall we proceed, everybody? Now next one. Sir, my doubt is Greater Chennai Corporation is a local authority. Are they supposed to raise e-invoices? They are not supposed to raise invoices when they are making any supplies, all this stuff. For them that relaxation is there. But we are providing anything to Greater Chennai Corporation. We did not enjoy any relaxation. We should definitely raise e-invoice if we are registered and we are crossing that limit of 5 crores. Shall I continue? Everybody? Next. So this is the next important amendment. Amendment number 17. So with this we are done with tax invoice, credit note and debit note chapter. So hope it is clear. Online students, soft copy will be shared in the Telegram groups only, where you got the message for this regarding this. Or if through your friends, if you have joined this meeting, ask your friends, they'll get there. Okay. Next. What is next on the payment of tax? Another 3 amendments. Amendment 18, 19. That's all. Just 2 more amendments. That's all. We are done. Shall we proceed? Payment of tax. Next one is payment of tax. Payment of tax interest calculations. May who leave an Insta also I will share. Don't worry. So payment of tax. If you remember interest calculation, interest calculations. There, if you remember, interest will be calculated on ITC wrongly availed and utilized. We have discussed one small problem also on that, availed and utilized. How will you decide whether it is availed and utilized? Closing e-credit ledger balance will fall below the amount availed. Sir, I have wrongly availed 12,000 ITC, sir. My closing e-credit ledger balance is 14,000. Can you call that it has availed and utilized? I have availed but not utilized. But if it is like 10,000, utilized how much? Now the problem here is IGST I have wrongly availed 12,000. IGST I have wrongly availed 12,000. But sir, this is wrongly availed. Clear? But my closing balance of ITC, if you see, sir, CGST 6,000, sir. SGST 4,000, sir. IGST 4,000. This is the closing balance of ITC. Now you tell me, can you say that I have utilized the wrongly availed ITC or not? Yes or no? Because I have wrongly availed ITC of IGST how much? 12,000. What is the closing balance of IGST ITC balance? 4,000. That means, did I use 8,000 of wrongly availed IGST? The answer is no. Because IGST, you can use it for CGST, SGST, all these things, correct? So the department has clarified, sir, you check the closing balance including the heads IGST, CGST and SGST, not IGST alone. This is only for IGST way, not for CGST and SGST. Clear? So this is only for IGST. Are you able to understand? Are you able to understand? Sir, now combine together CGST, SGST, IGST. What is the closing balance here? 14,000. Is this falling below 12,000? No. That means, can you say I have utilized that wrongly availed ITC? No. I repeat, IGST I have wrongly availed 12,000. But sir, Closing e-credit ledger balance of IGST is just 4,000. But CGST, SGST is 6,000 and 4,000, sir. Put together it is 14,000. That means can you say that wrongly availed 12,000 is not used? Yes, sir. Wrongly availed ITC is not utilized because I will not see IGST closing balance alone for you. I will also see CGST and SGST closing balance all put together. If it is not falling below the wrongly availed IGST ITC, then I will not charge any interest on that. This 12,000 should be paid back, Ra? Are you understanding that? This 12,000 should be paid back. Only thing, I will not charge interest. Because closing balance has not fallen below 12,000. Closing balance means you will consider only IGST closing balance, huh? No, you will consider all the heads, IGST, CGST, SGST. Or IGST, CGST and UTGST may be there. Am I clear? Shall we proceed? That is what the story of this amendment number 18 query 1. Clear, Amma? Everybody? So look at the answer. What is the answer? Sir, look at the query and answer. Once, just read it once. You understood it, but just read it once. No. See, this is only for IGST, this clarification, not for CGST, not for SGST, nothing. No, don't use any other creativity. Read fast, Pagal Mata. Done, ma? So the query is clear, answer is also like clear. So when the balance of ITC under the heads IGST, CGST, SGST of e-credit ledger, ECL means here e-credit ledger taken together falls below that, na, then I can say that it has been utilized. Now suppose here in the example it is like, sir, 4,000, 2,000 and 2,000. So what is the total amount, Ra? 8,000. How much you have wrongly availed? 12,000. That means how much has been utilized? On 4,000 you should pay interest. Clear? Shall I continue? Next. So that is what the point. So that is the first query. Second query. What is the second query? Sir, you are discussing about wrongly availed ITC and utilizing it. No, sir. You are discussing about closing balance of e-credit ledger. No, sir. There, should I consider the credit balance available for GST compensation cess? Hey, who are you? You are coming completely out of the syllabus. GST compensation cess can be used only for paying GST compensation cess. That fellow cannot be used for IGST, CGST, SGST, nobody. Okay, so this doubt itself you should not get. That is what the department is saying. Sir, ITC in respect of compensation cess can be utilized only towards payment of compensation cess. So it is quite obvious that the credit of GST compensation cess cannot be utilized for payment of any other tax. So accordingly, credit of compensation cess available in e-credit ledger cannot be taken into account while considering the closing balance of e-credit ledger for calculating your interest under Rule 88B sub Rule 3. Clear? So simple, we have seen how much is utilized. How much is utilized, how you will calculate? Based upon the closing balance of e-credit ledger. Sir, inside e-credit ledger, one fellow is there, compensation cess. Should I consider that fellow also? You please don't consider him for anything. For calculating wrongly availed ITC and utilized ITC. Here now you tell me, I have seen here 8,000 I have calculated, correct, Appa? How I came to know this is like wrongly availed ITC is 4000 by closing balances of this CGST, SGST and IGST. Sir, GST compensation cess is there, sir. 6000 is there, sir. It doesn't matter for us because we will completely ignore this fellow, because this fellow's credit can be used only for paying GST compensation cess, not for anything else. Understood? A simple clarification. Shall I continue? Shall I continue? CGST zone, SGST zone. Now clear a doubt? Lokesh, clear up now? If you wrongly availed IGST 12,000. No, I did not understand your doubt, Ra. But this wrongly availed ITC and utilized should be considered only for IGST, Ra. Don't apply this rule for if you have wrongly availed CGST and SGST. This is only for IGST. Am I clear? Fine. Next. What is next one? So the last amendment regarding returns. Sorry, last two. Okay, returns. Now coming to the point, sir, in returns amendment number 19. So there is rule 59 clause E and clause F has been added. This is regarding additional conditions for blocking your GSTR filing, GSTR1 and IFF, GSTR1 and IFF. Then you check the balances, Lokesh, anything excess is there from CGST, SGST, then you can consider it for IGST also. Yes, Sivaraman, correct. Yes, it 4000 wrongly availed will be repaid along with interest. Shall I continue? But do you remember that, sir, in certain cases GSTR1 filing will be blocked in returns chapter if you are not filed your returns, all those cases. So here, sir, there are two more clauses added, are very important, can be tested as a case study based question also for your exam. Please be comfortable with this. What is this? Simple, sir. If you are not following rule 10A, this is already discussed. What is that now? Bank account details. If you are not furnishing the bank account details within the time frame given, they can also block your return filing, GSTR1 or IFF. That is okay, fine. What is this rule 88D? If you remember, see, I tell you, this rule 88D only here we are going to discuss in amendment number 20. Okay. Sir, what is this all about? Now, what is this all about? Now, in your returns chapter, you would have seen rule 88C. Please check that. In returns chapter, you please see whether there is rule 88C in your J.K.SHAH textbook. What is rule 88C? First, rule 88A, B, C, D. Do you remember? Rule 88A is what? Order of utilizing ITC. Do you remember? IGST with IGST, CGST, SGST, any order, any proportion. Rules are there to set off the GST, ITC balance. That is rule 88A. What is rule 88B? Just now discussed, interest calculation, section 50. Interest along with rule 88B only we discussed that. Rule 88C and D are latest one. Rule 88C is there in your textbook itself. 88D is another improvement in this particular concept. Simple, what is happening now? Rule 88C and D, same concept, same ditto, same concept. Simple, listen, what is that now? You are filing your GSTR1 and your 3B. You remember we have discussed in class in GSTR1, while filing GSTR1, you give all the data perfectly because no need to pay tax. Just filing the return, giving the information. Sir, 100 lakhs invoices this month I have raised, sir, and I am filing. But my customers did not pay on time. On that 100 lakhs, I should pay 18 lakhs GST, 18%, imagine. Before 11th, we should file GSTR1 now. Filed it. I thought 14th I will get payment, 16th I will get payment, 17th I will get payment. What is the deadline to make payment? GST payment deadline, due date for deposit of tax. Loudly, 20. The GSTR 3B deadline is what, 20. So the same thing is what deadline for filing GSTR 3B and payment of tax, correct? 20th ma. Sir, if it is you are going for quarterly payments, QRMP scheme, then 22nd or 24th GSTR 3B, but monthly payments when you are making this, then it is 25th. Clear? Normally GSTR 3B you will use for making payment of taxes. What is the due date for GSTR 3B? 20th of the next month. Sir, I am under QRMP scheme, sir. Then 22nd or 24th based upon which state you are. Sir, monthly you should do one thing there. What is that? You have to deposit some amount in e-cash ledger. But then the deadline is 25th. Okay. Sorry, simple, leave it. Now coming to the point. Sir, while filing GSTR 1, I have been very honest, overexcited kid. Give 100 lakh sales, 18 lakhs GST liability. While filing 3B, I had only money to pay tax on 10 lakhs. Tax on 10 lakhs. That means 1,80,000. GSTR 1 I am showing 100 lakh sales. GSTR 3B I am showing 10 lakh sales. The department will say, Vara. So they will give a notice. Show me the difference. And department officer will not use, system will throw a notice on your face. Hey, why this difference? Why this colovery? Then, understand, difference can be by genuine reasons also. Your accountant, super duper talented, instead of typing 10, he has typed 0 one more time extra. Genuine error. Sales are not 100 lakhs, they are just 10 lakhs only. You rectified it in 3B. That means you should tell that to the officer, to the department, correct? Sir, this is the reason, sir. Or that fellow is another like super duper intelligent fellow. Instead of typing 100 lakhs, he typed 10 lakhs in 3B. Correct figure is 100 lakhs only. In 3B what he did? 10 lakhs. 1 0 he forgot. So here one more 0 got lost in tax payment. That means you have to pay money, correct? You go and pay, sir, sorry sir, my mistake sir, my accountant, stupid fellow sir. So you accept it, pay amount. Or if you are not accepting it, give explanation. If you are giving explanation, that fellow may be happy, may not be happy. If he is happy, fine. Then if he is not happy, then he will proceed for cancellation of registration. All these things will happen. So that is rule 88C. That procedure we have already discussed while discussing your returns chapter. If you remember, no problem. The same story here it is happening. What is that now? Sir, there is GSTR 2B. What is GSTR 2B? Your auto-populated date of ITC, correct? Auto-populated date of ITC is showing 1 lakh is ITC. What you are doing in 3B? You are taking 10 lakhs. You are taking 1 0 extra, that's all. 1 0 only, no sir. There is a difference between 2B and 3B. System will give notice. Are you able to understand, ma? 88C and 88D are same concepts. I mean the procedure, everything is same. But the situation is different. 88C will trigger the notice when there are discrepancies in GSTR 1 and 3B. 88D will throw notice when there are discrepancies between 2B and 3B. That means first 88C may be based upon your output tax. This one will be based on your input tax. Wrongly availed ITC can be there, correct? So now look at the procedure here, rule 88D. What will happen, ma? Sir, they will intimate you. Whenever the ITC availed in GSTR 3B exceeds ITC available in 2B. 2B how much is there? 1 lakh. But how much you are taking in 3B? 10 lakhs. Correct? Sir, I am taking only 45,000, sir. Then I don't have any problem. Whatever is there in 2B, you are taking less than that, I don't have problem. You are taking more than that, that is the problem. So I will give you an intimation. The registered person shall be intimated of such difference to his registered email address, highlighting the differences. These are the differences, pay the excess ITC you took 9 lakhs extra. That 9 lakhs extra amount you pay along with interest under section 50. Or, I told you, sir, there can be genuine reasons. Explain the reasons to me within 7 days. I am here to listen to you. Okay. So that 7 days time is given. So within 7 days what you are doing? You are paying the extra amount, you are giving a reply, or you are giving a reply. So if everything is fine, well and good, no problem. But sir, if there are any differences, then that will be recovered from you. Am I clear? So they will be recovered from you. So when the recovery proceedings will be initiated, when you fail to pay tax, or you have not at all given any explanation, or you have given explanation and I did not like that, okay, is not found to be acceptable. Either you have not paid, you have to pay but not paid, or you give reasons that is not satisfactory, or you have not paid the amount, not even gave any reply, like just like that you ignored. So officer gets frustrated, you are ignoring me. So like that fellow is what? Recovery proceedings are initiated. Shall we proceed, ma? That is what the concept is. This is exactly similar to rule 88C. Same but different. Okay. So the point is, it is 1 and 3B, this is 2B and 3B. Am I clear? That is what the story of amendments. Clear, my everyone? So now please understand, make sure you are going through the amendments one more time. Very easy. And make sure you are going with latest RTP and MTPs. Please don't ignore them, because I have seen some very good questions of RTP and MTPs. Make sure you are practicing them. Good questions means not difficult in that aspect, I am not talking about them, but the adjustments are really good. Okay, worth solving them. So please make sure you are not missing that RTPs and MTPs also. Clear, Amma? So will we get recorded amendment list? This will not be there in dashboard or Darshan, I don't think so, but I will try to get it in the dashboard also. I will try to do that, and also we will share this drive link. We will save this in a drive and we will share the drive link also to you people. Whenever you want, you can watch it, and you can also share it with your friends also, not an issue. Clear? So that is what all about the amendments. My only request is just another 20 days, including your exam dates. Both groups will be little bit difficult, will be like little bit like what, frustrating also. Make sure you are controlling all your emotions and sticking on to the target till the last minute, no matter whether you are writing only one group or both groups, whatever it is, till that last exam. If it is one group, till last exam taxation, both groups last exam, that FM and SM, last minute, stick on to the target. Believe that you can crack it, no matter how you perform in any paper. That is the only advice I am giving you as a senior. So make sure another 20 days being like emotionally very strong and fight till the last minute. There are very good chances you clearing the exam and coming out with good marks, right? So that is what all from my side. So thanks for the online students for joining and blessing me with your presence, right? So see you all sometime again, and wishing you again all the very best for your exams. This is your Vishnu signing off. Jai Hind.